Welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, before the what are we question, you should always get the foundation question of what are we doing? Because what I have learned in the spiritual journey, it is easy to be a romance person. It's easy to be a lover boy. It's easy to be a lover girl because it's all about connection and feeling good and letting go and opening to energies and letting them work through you. But if you are not healed enough, you really don't know what energies are working through you. And this is how we get caught up in these situationships and friendships that are friends with benefits, but there's no connection, it's not going anywhere. And I really want to talk about understanding the spiritual side of this part of dating. So for me, I have learned that as soon as I meet people, I've talked about this in other videos. For some people, they might feel like this is rushed. I don't care. Others can do what they want. For me, in spiritual dating, it is important for me to unmask someone as fast as possible without them realizing that I unmasked them. Because spirituality is about intuition and knowing and understanding and trusting and recognizing patterns. And if you don't follow the patterns, then you go against your own intuition. If you do follow the patterns, you get thrown into situations that can be uncomfortable, but you will get growth, but it's not about you. And so for me, I've learned that, especially when I meet people in that first few weeks of talking to them, I establish, do you want to be friends only or do you have a romantic interest in me? For some reason, people feel like this is such an unreasonable question. But here's what I say to someone. When you walk into a restaurant and you look at the menu, you know right away what you want, or you look over, you see what the ingredients are, and then you make a decision. Okay, this is how some people treat dating, and that's okay. But for me, I like to know which part of the menu I'm on, right? If you meet me or talk to me or engage with me in any way, at some point along this communication, I would like a reciprocal, hey, you know what? I'm really digging your energy, and I'd like to keep seeing where this is going romantically. Now, romantically does not mean you're in a relationship with this person. It does not mean that this person is exclusive to you. What it does entail is that you will flirt with this person and not feel awkward. Know that when they flirt with you, it's a reciprocal flirt. Know that when you say you're going to hang out, it means they're going to be dates and not just awkward hangouts. And you don't know, are we friends hanging out or are we trying to get to know each other? This is why I say, ask, are you interested in me romantically? And if the person says, I don't know yet, then say, okay, cool. Well, we're going to keep it at strictly friends for now. And we can keep talking and getting to know each other and hanging out. But I will be going on dates and engaging with other people. And if they're like, cool, that's what I'm going to keep doing too, then you both just established that you are friends with a romantic interest. If, on the other hand, you're talking to someone, you get past the first 1 or 2 weeks of chatting with them, and you say, hey, do you see me romantically as friends? And they're like, honestly, I just see us as friends right now. Then say, okay. That doesn't mean it can't become romantic, but in that moment, you're saving yourself so much energy and time by saying, cool, we are friends, and treat them as such. With a friend, for me, I text my friends when I think of them or when I'm thinking of an event or something or music or whatever. Friendship for me is random. I don't have a set schedule where I'm like, I got to text this friend at this time and do this and blah, blah, blah. The same thing with romantic interests. I don't sit here and have a set time, but that person will get a little bit of different interest from me. They might get a flirtier text. They might get a visual that's a little more spicy that reminds me of something that I want to exchange with that person, right? I'm not going to do this with someone that I think is only a friend. That's weird because now you're muddling what the energy is, and versus just asking the person what they want or what they desire, now you're going into this situation over giving, and you're over giving with an expectation, and then you get mad when you get no return on your investment, right? This is what so many of us do. We go into situationships, investing, expecting a return, but you never establish which portfolio you were investing in. right? This is how it works. You have to let people know what you expect. If someone gets, again, if someone gets weirded out or freaked out, that means that they're emotionally not ready and they're telling you right there, even if they don't know it themselves or incapable of formulating the words. That's why energy reading is important. They're telling you with their energy. If you're like, hey, you want to get to know me romantically or friendship wise? I don't know. I don't really know who we are. I'm not really looking for anything. That's your answer right there versus someone who's like, let me think about it. And like, cool, think about it. Because that's not an unreasonable response to you asking someone a question. Let them think about it. And then they can come back and say, hey, I thought about it. I would like to go out with you a couple more times to figure out if that's what I want. And then you say, cool, let's do that. As long as the communication is there, right? Versus you just talking to someone like a friend. There's no romantic flirting. There's no real interest shown. There's gaps in conversations. When you do hang out, they act romantic with you. So then you act romantic with them, which is a little confusing. So then you think the next day or something you can text them and be more open, and they're just as cold. So you're like, what is this? This is those moments of you not establishing boundaries with yourself. Again, boundaries are not for other people. Other people have to respect them when you set them, which is saying, hey, I need to know what we are. And if they can't do that, then right there, they're not validating your boundary, and you can decide if you want to dismiss yourself or not, or dismiss them. That's what you're supposed to do with spiritual energy. Now, when you continue forth in the physical world, it doesn't mean that now that you and this person agreed on this emotional spiritual plane that now you belong to each other. It just means you know that you're driving in the same direction. And if you're capable and able to do that, then you can take a journey together and go out and hang out and have dinners and party. And again, flirt, talk to other people. You can have multiple partners and do this as long as you've established what each of those partners are to you, so that if one becomes more serious than the others, you can say, hey, this one got a little bit more serious than us, so I want to explore that more. And that person's going to have to bite the bullet and say, okay. And if they say, no, I thought we were more, well, that's cool, but you never established more. And if you are upfront with what you want in the beginning and say, hey, I said, did you want to be more friends or romantic? And you said friends, well, you got the friendship package. You got the friendship treatment, right? So at the end of the day, friends don't get priority over romance to me. Romance goes to the person who knows that they're ready for it. And then in that realm of romance, we can still become friends. And if we become good friends, then we become romantic partners, right? When you're just in the realm of plain friendship and you're just doing friendly things all the time and trusting that this person is just your friend and not thinking anything else, and then I know where they say they like you, there's nothing wrong with that, but it does make you feel like, I was a little more vulnerable with them faster than I wanted to be in a situation that I wouldn't normally do in a romantic connection, because it is important to some people. Maybe it's not to others. Some people like to be open books and give it all. Others like to dose it out, but you have to find the middle so that you're not overcrowding the other person's way of interacting with their experience with you as well, because even though you are both experiencing it, it's still two separate experiences. So you want to make sure you're checking in with each other and stating, hey, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, this is the expectation I have, this is the what are we doing, so I know what path we're going on. And then after a certain point in time, like people say, after 60 to 90 days of hanging out with that person consistently without any issues or whatever, and whatever comes to mind, then you say, what are we? And then if then at that point it's okay for them to be like, yeah, I should know if I want this person to go further in a deeper connection or not. But in that first few interactions, learn how to decipher between earthly emotional understanding and your spiritual emotional understanding, so that when you combine the two worlds, you have a nice roadmap and a blueprint to how you want to experience this thing called life. Love ya. Mwah.